And we have Chela Burger, and we have Harry Katakali, and you're on, Chela.
Brother, when did you realize that you were an elder? And what is that like for you to be an elder? And to be an Apache elder? What's that like for you?
Well, approximately 5 years ago, I had met several that were older, and really, after the expression of the younger people, they start calling me Grandpa, and they start helping me when I get in the car and get out of the car. And it's like I've done my elders whenever they needed help to get upstairs, or that's what started happening to me. Then I suddenly known that I was an elder because of the way the younger generation treated me and helped me when they thought I needed help. And that began about 5 years ago when I knew the oldest member had passed on, and then I became the elder of the tribe. And my age, being 82, that my older elders, they lived to be around 100 at that time when they were here in my life. But now the lifespan is going down to where that it's getting lower. And we do not have, in my generation, I think we have about 3 of my relatives on the muscular Apache side that are still in this life, and we have one lady being an elder. So that for my generation, just about 4 of us, or 5 of us left, it's not what it used to be. Each home used to have an elder.
So is it different now? How is it different not for you to not have elders to look to or to turn to or to ask questions or to how is that for you?
Well, I can look back, and when we had elders, and they taught us and were with us doing every type of tribal gathering we got, our ceremonials, and anything about Christmas time, the elders were there. They more or less pass on the information how we should be able to pass on to the younger generation that's coming up when they become elders. So that was instrumental to me to listen to my elders in the Native American church and their daily lives, and pass on the information that they told me that was available through all of our traditions. And that's what I do now. Well, since I'm an elder, I go to all kind of occasions, like the death of members of my Apache people or gatherings. I'm there, and some still do look up to elders for information about lineal heritage. And we have no records in government history that they recorded family tree from each family. So we have only what the older people have told us. And like for me, I can go only to my grandma. That's it, or my grandpa's, and no further back than their lives. So we're limited as far as to know who we were related to, those in Canada and different parts of this continent where our people resided at one time in their lifetime. So being an elder, I feel that all that I listen to helped me to pass on some interesting things that would help our ways in our traditional way. And that's what it was given to us for, to help. Our traditions were all for healing. And it's still here. It'll never leave us. We're the ones that are letting it go. Because of the way the world is now, we have so many things that we can lean toward that, like it's easy for us to go get food like at McDonald's, Sonic, or go to movies, get somewhere in a car. But in my young days, everything that was done by traveling was by horses and wagons. And that's why we would go to a meeting, a Native American church meeting about 20 miles away in a wagon. And when we got there, there was nothing but wagon, no car. So now we can, like me, I'm fortunate for the last 28 years I can go where I can pray with people. And really fortunate that I was permitted to travel with my family. So I just want to, just make an expression. That's where I got my information from the elder people about tradition.
Mm-hmm. So when you look around now, like, are there things that you see that are really different that concern you? That maybe ways that the old ways aren't being followed anymore, or there things that people don't understand that you wish they did. Ways that things have changed in all the years that you've been alive and watching all the things change. Are there things that you're most concerned about?
Yes, that's what I tell people. God does not take away, like our Native American church, how our people used it, or our way of ceremonies, how they used it, our way of life as we use it. God don't take away, we're letting everything go. It's still there, like I tell people that Native American church, God don't take away, we're letting it go, because everything that He permitted us to see is still there. It's up to us to show that we have faith. And that's the only way that we can see what God allowed us to be able to have as a way of getting what we want through prayer and faith. And as far as I know, like all of our traditions and our ceremonies, they had to have faith to do exactly the way it was given to them a number of years ago. But different ideas, different opinions, different ways has changed everything that we have to this day. Our ceremonials, like they used in the old, in the time of the 1800s, when they traveled from place to place, like I say, they're forgetting about all of our traditions, even to this day, and it's still here. But we have to make the effort to show God that we want that, be able to use that faith, but it has to be shown as a genuine faith. This is what you want, and otherwise it's going to remain latent. Otherwise, we're going to continue without receiving what we're looking for by faith. And as like I mentioned, God don't take nothing away. He does not take nothing away. And it's still there, and like it's, when the world started, Adam and Eve, and then it went into different tribes at that time, tribes and different languages, but God is no, He don't judge nobody. Only thing He does is we have faith. He can do anything that we ask.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I tell people everywhere I go. If you have faith and show God, you're going to get what you want. And I tell them, I can only pray with you. That's my limit. Anybody's limit in this life, they can only pray with you. Even Jesus Christ, He told people that your faith heal you. So that's what I tell people, or I pray that I can only pray with you. But it has to be a gifted man or individual to see the power of prayer, faith, and healing through God. It has to be a gifted man from God. Not that any individual can come around and pray. Even these preachers in town all over the continent of you, or all over the world, they don't have that gift to see healing from God. But they have that gift from getting the education, become real knowledgeable of what they want to talk about. But still yet, a person is given the gift from God in 3 different categories. The one that's least of all is to see healing through prayer, faith, and through God. It's the least of all. And the next one is to see healing through miracles, which I can only go back to my grandpa who could heal. And he would cough up a live black turtle or 4 hailstones. And when he got done, he'd swallow them back. And he didn't have to just use the gift that he got through spirits. And you cannot tell the difference between a spirit and a live object. You cannot tell the difference. And the first one, I have no idea. I've never seen anyone. But I've known one individual that walked. I read about the individual that walked Mother Earth, and he had the power to heal you, and that was Jesus Christ. So, but I've never heard anything about it in my time in this life about a man in the category of being capable of healing. Maybe it's by touching, maybe I don't know. So, but I know one individual had that possibility that was Jesus Christ, and he walked this Mother Earth.
Well, we have many of us had the occasion to experience or to see or hear about miracles that happen in the Native American church, like through the peyote. Someone eats the peyote and they get well. You know, you've told us many stories like that about people going in there and getting well in there. And so is what kind of healing is that? I always think that it's the peyote that has this incredible spiritual gift, and that if we believe in it, that we can get healing there. So what would you say about that?
Yeah, like I say, I tell people your faith and the prayer. And the prayer and everything, I tell people, everything in there has capabilities of healing. Has the capabilities of healing, like the brothers I gave to our knee. And that medicine, that's why we call it medicine. We don't call it peyote back at home. My older people call it medicine. Uh-huh. And as Apache people, we utilize a substance in that medicine that will heal you, that will overpower you. And I've continually heard of older people say, keep that drum going, because that's when I've seen everybody get healed when the drum's going. And that bar has the capabilities of healing you also. And every item we have in there, and to seek healing, even the older people, whenever they were outside of the teepee in their home, they would light tobacco and pray with it. And that was their connection with the Creator. And I've seen that tobacco do a lot. Like I say, everything in the Native American church had the power to heal you. And I use it whenever someone is doing that hocus pocus, or they're trying to make that individual, they do something to them, might make them sick, it might make something swell up, legs swell up, or bring knots on them. And I use that tobacco, and I witnessed the power of that tobacco in prayer. And my dad, at one time, when this lady was getting hit, every time this old man sung, she'd get nervous and start having dry heaves. And my dad is building farm. My uncles had that meeting for the lady, because when each one come to her house about maybe a month before, she was on her bed, sitting there crying, and they asked her what happened, and why she crying. She said, I was told I had cancer. And so my dad prayed with her, and then my other uncle walked up. And each one I carried medicine with them, and they gave it to her. And so and they said, what's wrong? They said the same thing. I'm going to OU Medical Center. I got cancer. And my other uncle drove up. So they all went in there. They done the same thing. They gave her medicine. And they told us that when you go up there, there's nothing wrong going to be with you, and we'll have that teepee up when you get back. So she went up there to get operated on. She had no cancer. And when she came back, they had that teepee up, and that man that practiced this bad medicine, he was doing this to her, making her have dry heaves and making her nervous, and my dad noticed that, and he went up and asked his brothers, my uncles, you gonna help her? And they answered him, you help her. So he went to sit down. That drum was gonna get close to that guy again, and he rolled the tobacco. Went up there, he said, hold it, and put it in her hand, you hold it there. No matter what happens, you hold it in your hand. And so that when that guy sang, and she started getting nervous and start dry heaving. And so she held that tobacco. When that guy started singing, she started getting that way, and she held on to it. Finally, he started hollering. Let go of everything, just start hollering. And he couldn't quit, so they had to get that drum and pass him. And he was still hollering. He hollered all night after midnight. He hollered all night. And then over at home, when they take that teepee down, right after they go out. Because when you take that teepee down, anybody that has been affected with such power to get well, But she got well in there whenever she held that tobacco. And he was still hollering when they went outside, everything, still hollering. But when that teepee went down, he was okay. So that's what I say. Everything is still there, and everything that we use in there has the power to heal you, if you have faith. That pertains to any traditions we have. If you have faith, then you have. You can see the power of the Native American Church, and I heard that quite consistent from the elders. To sit still, watch on. You want to know something, pray. What you're going to be permitted to see from the power God gave the church. He's not going to tell you different, but a man will. Different men that come there will tell you. Most of them say my grandpa, but my grandpa's way. But me, I say God's way because He's the only one that can give us what we're looking for. And that's what I say. That tobacco. I use that to stop that hocus pocus. I've done that several times. A lot of people trying to do things to me, but they can't. And I use that tobacco pray with, and I'll tell that medicine. And you know what happened. I said, whatever you do, it's okay with me. So I put it out. I could have done that the other night, and I didn't do it. Simply because we have a good meeting, and I didn't want to create, any other thing but the good feeling. That's it.
Mm-hmm. When you talk about faith, are there different kinds of faith, or is there only one kind of faith?
Well, I can see it, only one kind of faith. Only one, and then it's got to be genuine. It can't just, if you're praying for someone that is having a hard time with sickness or might be having a limitation on life, then your faith will help them. And like it says in the Bible, I hear you when you pray from your heart. When you pray from your mouth, it goes to the atmosphere. Same thing about singing too. If you sing from your heart, I hear you. But if you sing from your mouth, it goes to the wind. So faith, like in different categories, like you're praying with the people in there and have that opportunity to pray for the individual that needs prayer, and then it's faith. But genuine faith pertains to those that have the gift of God to see healing through prayer, faith in God, and they've got to live it. That's the reason why it's genuine. Because any time that they're asked to come pray with anyone, they can't have nothing to regret, nothing that went against the will of God. And but faith, anyone that wants to see anything, they gotta have faith. Got to have faith, but for me, I can remember all the things that I've seen and witnessed and had experience that happened to me in my life, and to know that I can't play around with life. I cannot do that. I've got to do things within the will of God. Then I can see Christianity more clearly. I can see whenever there's doubt, whenever people, they kind of want to do things their way. It's well and good, but we have to do it to see what God has to offer His way, His will. And that's what faith is. We can pray. A lot of people say, I pray, but not from here. But it's from the mouth of God, don't hear. But a lot of people go to church to say, I went to church, but just as soon as they leave and go home, they're back to the same routine. So faith is something that is required to see what God will allow you to see, what you want to see also. So I always tell people, you cannot fool God. You cannot fool that medicine either, because God gave it the power to help us. And like you was talking about, that medicine, I wanted to know. In Rockyville, Montana, it showed me the one that the Holy Spirit in there that we talk to is the Spirit of Jesus Christ. They come up in words, Jesus Christ, whiter than white, 2 inches wide and 2 inches high and 8 inches in length. Stayed there until I got done praying for myself and that man that had cancer of both kidneys, a young man. And then when I got done praying, it went back down into the masses slowly. Then when they gave me an opportunity to talk at midnight, so I talked. And I told him, just what I seen. But it showed me there was the Spirit of Jesus Christ that the things we call, the miracles, and he gave that way of worship, the power to heal if we have faith. That's what they emphasize all these years since it's been in existence. And so his wife brought in water the next morning, and I started praying, and this time the image of Jesus Christ come out of the coals to his waist, whiter than white, and he had his hands out like this, like I've healed both of you, Then he went to Salt Lake City to get operated on this. Take one kidney out and cut the lobe off the other. When they examined him, they told him to go home. There was nothing wrong with him. And I had the opportunity to meet him 3 times since that time. And one time at the Gardens, and I walked in at the Canadians put up a meeting. I walked in there before they even get started. And I sat at the door, and he asked me, "You gonna bill for it?" I said, "Yeah, I would if they asked me." And so hey, what's your name? And I told him, and so I'm Jesse Stump, the one that we got well together. Mm-hmm. And he said, "I'm gonna tell you, I've been using your name, telling people when I got my miracle." And I said, "I'm gonna tell you something. I've been using your name, telling people about when we both got our miracles there." But it showed me what I wanted to know. How my people survive without knowing God or Jesus Christ or about Christianity. And it showed me that all the healings that we have in our traditions were by his son, Jesus Christ. And sometimes I've heard people in that centerfold and Sundays, they would see the image of Jesus Christ on the centerfold. Then they would see constantly in that church back at home, they would see the image of Jesus Christ in the cold, land seemed in cold, and the image in the bar. Then on the lighter stick too, they'd see the picture. Like one time, we were going to on our monthly trip, and our girls went to school, so we were going to leave right after school and pick them up, and we went in sweat to pray about it. And the overcast, like this fog, is white clouds, just low from horizon to horizon. Went in there, and then the second round, I went outside, laid on that rug up there, and a circle formed above us, sweat logs. So inside that circle, like a slow wool, then it blended into a picture of Jesus Christ. And I told, "Hey, Landon, come out here and look at this." He said, "No, it's for you to see, not me." Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of things I've witnessed in my lifetime make me more, have more faith in how God, treated my people. And it's all through tradition.
Hi, come on in, Joseph.
It was all through tradition, and that's the way he took care of my people. But like I say, everything is still here.
So can somebody have faith who doesn't take Jesus as their Savior?
It has to be faith in other than religion.
Mm-hmm.
See, they might have faith, but only thing I can, I can visualize is, you have to know that God is real. Mm-hmm. That God is real. And the only way that you can really get that in your mind is to have that faith in God.
But can God be real to different people in different ways? Like, can God be real to some people in the earth and the fire and the water without it being associated with a person? Something like that?
Well, everything comes from God, you know, that I witnessed so far. Like that water we have in there, I witnessed that when I had people that got possessed on me in that teepee, and that water will deliver them. They know it will, and they won't drink it. They almost have to trick them into drinking or force them to drink it. Like one guy got possessed on me, and I could put my elbow against the teepee canvas and pull his head back, and I poured that water down his throat.
Wow.
He got delivered. But that water, it was really a lot of emphasis and faith went into that meeting that water can heal. And they know. I've witnessed about 4 or 5 or 6 people that got possessed in that teepee when I was in there. And I had the opportunity to see their reaction whenever with that water. Yeah, like one, each one that whenever that demon come out, it would come out in a pink mist. Each one, and like with this one, it came out and hit the ground and bounced out where the ear flaps are. And that's the reason why I say the person taking care of the service should have the ability to help anyone in there under any situation they come into. They should, but some get overpowered in that, and they're out of luck. I don't know of anybody I've been in teepees with that can help them so far. I've never met anyone that can help people that needed help. I've seen, like I say, I've seen one individual die, an elderly man from Montana and Oklahoma. Of course, he didn't know how to help him. And that's why our older people had the faith and knowledge to help people in there. And Sean Putnam witnessed when in the Lopez Island when this guy and his lady were possessed. They didn't want him in there, but I said, you can't close that door on nobody. When they were delivered, they thanked me, and they said, they thanked me, and they said, everywhere we went, they chased us out. And they wanted to do that to them over there. I said, no. I said, you can't close that door. And whenever I was a young person, I listened to older men talk in the morning after it was over. They were sitting around in a teepee, and they'd say, hey, what about, and none Indian coming. And my older people said, if you close that door, you know, you can't close the door on nobody. That's what I heard a long time ago when I was as a young person. I heard that, and so like I say, it still went on for a long time back in Oklahoma. Went on for a long time, but like I say, my house, my home is open. Jeconiah is the one. He asked me, they came down, him, Billy, and Nelson, to Anadarko, Oklahoma for a meeting, and I happened to sit next to Herschel Palsy with Bill and Barr. Jeconiah said by me. And as the night went on, I drank with Jeconiah, and he drank for me, and he asked me what tribe it was. I told him my tribe, and he asked me if I ran meetings. I said, yeah, and he told me what you run a meeting for me, and being among the older people, how they went about, you know, just like they wanted only Indians in there. So I said, well, hey, I said, let me go home and let me pray then. So I built the sweat. Before I went in that door, I knew my answer. I said, how can I pray for my family by praying them? So from that time on, I was permitted what God allowed me to see. And I came up here in that meeting over there at Cave Junction. My grandsons came in to drill, and so man, we didn't have them girls then, Cindy and Joanne. And anyway, then I started coming up here, and I guess that must be in the 80s, somewhere around there. And so I came with a lot of good, kind people here. Everywhere I went, because I know I cannot fool God. I cannot fool God, and like me, I always emphasize you have to have faith to see God's power in any church. In any way of life, you go outside and stand beside that tree and pray, you gotta have faith.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have faith to see, and I can see Christianity more clear. And like I say, God allowed me to see what a lot of people would see in their lifetime, especially among our Indian people back home. Who goes to the Native American church, I've become a loner, simply because they didn't want to hear the truth. And as I go anywhere, that's what I tell people. You gotta have faith to see the power of God. Like I say, He allowed me to see what He allowed me to see, and I go tell people it's for everybody. But it's the only gift you to see healing is from God, or to see it in a blink of an eye. Everything I've witnessed so far, it was like Alzheimer's, a lot of cancer, a lot of people getting well with all kinds of sickness. Like my daughter had a week to live, 2 at the most, and she walked out well. But she got well in the house. After midnight, she went in the house, and my late companion Landon went in there with her, and her companion went in there, and she had that attack of asthma, whatever it was. She started turning blue, and her husband got scared and ran out, and she was laying on the couch, and my late companion walked up to her, said, "Kay, you're being tested, pray." She did. She was barely praying when she said, "Amen," she'll be well. And to this day, she had 1 week to live, 2 at the most, and she's still at home working with the government. It's been quite some time ago. And her daughter had arthritis of the spine. She barely could walk, barely get out. My granddaughter. So it's not me, because traditionally I can't tell anybody I can do this. Someone got to ask me, or they got to ask me. It's traditionally, I'm not a medicine man, but I say God allowed me to see what He allowed me to see. I take it traditionally because I want to do things no different from the older people. And anyway, my granddaughter, I and Lana went to their house and barely walked down the house and barely get down the steps. And once we got to talking, she walked away, and Lana said, "Hey, let's have a meeting for her." So I said, "Okay." And I said, "Hey, Candy, we're going to have a meeting for you Friday night." And see that big smile come on her face. She was happy, and she went in the house and called her friends, and my grandpa's going to have a meeting for her. I'm going to get well. And she did. She actually walked out and keep you well. And up until, that's been over to about 20 years ago or so, somewhere along there. And she kept, over a time, she would tell me, "Thank you, Grandpa." I said, "No, you don't thank me, you thank God. He's the one that healed you through your faith."
Did she have the faith?
Yeah, she did. And she had faith. That's the only way that you're going to get that blessing from God. nowhere that if you don't have faith, you don't see. Like I tell people, you don't have faith, you go in that TP and walk out with your sickness.
Mm.
But it takes a man.
Did her faith get stronger when she was in there?
Yeah, she did get strong. She come and help me all the time, and she's doing real well with her family, and so my daughter too, the same way. Her mother, she would come and help me. You know, I had no one at home when Amanda left. You know, I had nobody to help me. And but you know, last meeting I had, I done all the cooking. Atlanta, I put it in the freezer, and then when the time comes, I will go in. I put it on the table at the car, and then heat it up the next day. You know, and like this lady from Arcata, when we had that meeting up there for Roman. She came there and asked if she could pray with me on that tobacco. And next meeting I ran, she came up and she said, "I come up to here to see you here." I said, "What for?" I said, "I come to thank you." I said, "What for?" She said, "3 doctors told me I don't have cancer." So she gave me a seashell, cedar and a bear claw, you know. So that was good enough for me, you know. So what my all of my older Apache brothers would tell me, you go all over, brother, you go all over. Never put a price on prayer. Never say this is, you know, if they give you anything, let it be outside. Let it be outside, because you cannot add on or take away from our tradition. So if they give you anything, let it be outside. And gas money, but most of the time I went around, you know, just because that was our yearly thing for 28 short years. I'm a late companion, and Cindy and Jolene would just go, you know, and they would take 5,000 or 6,000 medicines, you know, and just wherever we have a meeting, we just leave it, and then go ahead and use it.
Uh-huh.
So that's the way that we used to do.
You brought a lot of prayer with you too when you traveled like that. What's the difference between, like in here we were just praying, 4 of us, and sometimes I'm just praying alone. What's the difference between praying with other people and praying all by yourself alone?
The difference is it could be lack of faith. But if you have faith, you can pray yourself, and with that faith, your prayer is what God wants to hear. It's from your heart. He said, like I mentioned it, you pray from your heart, I hear you. But you pray from your mouth, it goes to the wind. So it don't take a group of people, like in a teepee. We can all pray in there and get together and be with the source. And it will make it more possible to see what we're praying about for that family, like the meeting the other night with Karina and James. You know, we all went in there, and then that jealousy came in. And it's a victim of the guy, Sean, throwing it for me, affected him. But I knew who it was. But I didn't want to do anything but go on and keep that good feeling in there, you know. And so for James and Karina and Olivia, everything went beautiful. The prayers and everything. They prayed. We prayed. The main ingredient in that Native American church, or any way of life, any church, is prayer. Prayer is the way that we can get what we're asking for.
So when we're praying with other people, we can help support each other's faith?
Yeah. Well, it all comes together, you know. Like I say, God gave that medicine the power to hear us think. And that's what the old people would say. Be careful how you think when you go in there, how you feel, because you might make it difficult for what we're praying for or about, it's going to be hard to get, you know.
Mm.
And that's where God is. He can hear us think. That's the reason why, you know, I tell people, you know, you pray from your heart and your mind, and God hears you. That medicine hears you. Also, the fact God gave that power to medicine to heal and hear and do things that whenever I found out where it came from, it showed me it was the Spirit of Jesus Christ that we talked to him. We knew when my people just roamed this continent that there was a spirit so strong it could do anything. Like back at home, sometimes the ground just starts moving with us. Sometimes rainbows go all over, and sometimes it would do things like when them Canadians come down, all them coals had different color flames on them, all over, and the different rainbows in that far. Then where the ropes are, there was a halo, just boiling rainbow. So the next door, about a couple of 100 yards away or more, that granddaughter, their granddaughter said, "Listen how beautiful singing, just for morning water. Listen to that singing, Canadian singing." And she got up and looked out the window and said, "Grandma, look at them lights." And she got up and looked out, and she seen around the ropes there's a halo boiling, you know, just. And so she said, "I knew it was Cindy's birthday, so I prayed for her." And when I was praying, a rainbow come out of that halo and lit their teepee ground too.
Hmm.
So we get to see the power of the Spirit that helped my people all those years, you know. See the power of it, so. And that's the reason why, you know, like I know, I tell, when I'm praying, I say, I know I'm talking to the Spirit of Jesus Christ, you know, when I'm praying. Because it showed me what I wanted to know about wanting to know how my people live in this life without the knowledge of God or Jesus Christ or about Christianity. So it showed me traditionally that's the way he took care of my people.